Thank you, everyone. Thank you, President Gottman. Sometimes when I do get on a stage like this, I try so hard not to get emotional. Um, and it all goes back. When I was informed of the opportunity to speak at this event, I began searching inside for a past moment that has been the genesis of today. Months later, I've now discovered that the answer to this question is not in the many hours I've spent in the lab researching HIV latency, nor in the long hours I've spent in Van Pelt Library trying to study, meanwhile just winning away with sleep. But I've come to realize and trace the answer back to a cold morning on the 7th of September, 2002. You see, the morning wasn't cold because of the weather, but rather because of a tragedy at hand. I had contracted a life-threatening waterborne infection on my legs after swimming in one of the village's river tributaries. The best next step, as you might guess, after the many trials by the village herbalist, we just walked up to the city physicians, and in the face of sadness, all they could tell my parents was that we had to amputate his legs. But you see, at that moment they told me that they had to amputate my legs. One thing was at stake: my future. However, this moment turned out to be the first time that someone decided to take a bet on my life. A new resident physician at the hospital requested that his supervisors allow him a week to re-diagnose and treat my infection. Well, I'm standing on two legs now, so you get the rest of the story. On that occasion, I experienced my first of life's greatest miracle, a second chance. Years later, a little envelope from Big Hearts associated with pen would become the next greatest second chance that not only myself, but also my village and my family ever received. Your financial assistance made it possible for a street child like me to be able to attend pen. And here, I've also worked hard with every fiber in my bones, with every fire in my bones, with every penny you've donated to embody the fruits of the seeds that you've sown. In my first year at Penn, I began to deeply reflect on my own personal experiences and how they tie in with the second chance you had given me. You see, at only age 9, I nearly lost my legs. In high school, while working on the streets to take care of myself, I had to watch powerlessly as other street kids like myself without health insurance endure the painful symptoms of cholera and malaria. These experiences, coupled with the death of my own relatives, including my favorite uncle, who even as a young child, I didn't know what a doctor was. In my mind, as a child, a doctor was a fetish priest. But he believed that someday I could become something. My uncle died. He died of HIV. All these experiences entangled and forged in me a passion to contribute in whatever small way I can with the same gift you have given me, which is the gift of a second chance. Consequently, this inspired me to found Students for a Healthy Africa, or SAHA in short, to provide a common platform for young Africans around the world so that they can also tackle health-related diseases in their own communities. And what began as an email introduction by Professor Ezekiel Emmanuel, and later mentorship from Professors Harvey Rubin, Larry Gladney, and Roy Hamilton, has now rippled into one of Africa's largest student health movements, with a current membership total of 5,600 students across the globe. We have been very amazed at how many people, as well as groups, such as President Bill Clinton's global initiatives, have come to believe in the power of young Africans to be able to take charge and transform the destinies of their own communities and their continent. Similarly, I've also come to realize that through the infectious smiles of the mothers in rural Nigeria, or the hopeful laughter of the HIV orphans we sponsor in Ghana, lies the seed of faith of you, my donor, of you, our donor, of you, the donor of everyone here, in me. This seed continued to grow as I progressed through my undergraduate education. After pursuing biomedical research abroad in Switzerland and here at Penn, I began to cherish and recognize the potential of being an undergraduate researcher. It was a miracle. And so I began to wonder, similarly, what if the cure to cancer or Ebola lies in the mind of a young girl in rural Africa? And because of poverty, the world will forever be denied of such discoveries. This self-posed question spoke so deeply to me and led me to co-found the African Research Academies for Women. The answer and the motive was not so much to be big, but was very simple, so that we could also provide our fellow young African women an equal opportunity to pursue careers in biomedical research. Today, we have about 30 young women who are being mentored in PhD careers. Thankfully, my efforts in passing on the torch that you gave me have not gone unnoticed and have merited numerous awards and recognitions. Sometimes I like to tickle myself that they are mine, but they're really not mine. They're yours. A few weeks ago, a call from President Amy Gutman got me in tears. It really did. She bears witness to that. Teardrops that later didn't just only get to me, but got my family and 7 villages in shouts of joy. This call was and is still a miracle. As a Presidential Engagement Prize winner, I will be supported by Penn to be able to construct a facility that will comprise a medical clinic and a school for girls in my village. The miracle is not so much in the prize that I won, but the miracle is in the fact that for the first time, a young girl in my village, in any of the 8 other villages, will not have to wake up in the morning wondering, what do I do next? But they too, just like my sisters, can have a shot at education. The miracle is not in the prestige of the prize, even though the prize is prestigious. But truly, the miracle is in the fact that never again, like in my uncle's circumstances, like my uncle, who in the middle of the night had been hit so hard by an asthma attack that on the way to the city's hospitals had to die. The miracle is that in a year from now, in years from now, such situations will be things of the past. Want to know more? It will be the first of its kind in West Africa. Whenever I reflect on my life thus far and my experiences and the fact that in just a month I will be the first in my family and my village to graduate from college, must I say the finest in the Ivy League to be precise. Yeah. I sometimes ask myself, what if I had never been given a second chance at life and a fair shot at education? Would I be where I am today as an aspiring physician who hopes to change the face of rural medicine, who hopes to fight for those who do not have a voice, who hopes to make the world bodies understand that health equity, that the ability to be able to access healthcare is not a privilege, but a basic human right? A few moments ago, I was just standing there and talking with Professor George Wise. And I looked at the number of donors who had surrounded him. And all my mind could think back was the transformation of lives. What a legacy. And so, just as we have been given second chances, may we also leave this place touched, inspired, motivated, never been ever influenced in any way than today to step back in our world and give others second chances too. And I'm optimistic that on some level, this will be an honorable way of expressing our gratitude to our donors. At any point in our future lives, I pray that we never forget the sacrifices that others have made to enable us get this far. For me, the scars on my leg from that infection 13 years ago and my pen degree will always be there to remind me to do so. They will always be there to remind me that a few years ago, I was drinking water to go to bed. They will always be there to remind me that not so long ago, I used to sleep under bridges on the streets just to see myself in school. But the miracle is that someone believed in me and gave me a second chance, and so I'm here. Pour à qui on donnait beaucoup, beaucoup seront appelés. For to whom much is given, much, very much, very, very much will be expected. Thank you.